This mixer was given to me by a friend. It looks complete, very dirty, but seems like there are no missing parts. The power transformer has a clicking noise inside, like if there's something broken inside, something like that. I was told that the mixer doesn't power on, so let me connect it and see if it works or what it does. It has 3 pins, so I assume it is a symmetric power supply, since the label in the transformer also says that it provides 2 outputs of 18 volts AC. So let me connect it and see if it turns on or does something. Nope, nothing is happening. So it doesn't power on, so maybe that noise is because the transformer is damaged or broken. So according to the label in the transformer, it should read 18 volts in 2 of the pins and will be 36 volts between the 2 pins. So there are 3 pins. One of them is the central tap and the other 2 are the 18 volts outputs. But we are not reading anything. Those numbers are just imperfect. Okay, definitely we have nothing, so I'm going to open it. Oh, this is definitely not the original transformer. It does has a central tap on the label, says that is for 18 volts. But maybe those 18 volts are a total of the volts and not 2 wires carrying 18 volts each one, meaning that it is not for 36 volts in total. Preamps are usually based on operation of amplifiers, or better known as the 741. Those amplifiers very often require symmetric power supplies to operate in audio applications, like in this mixer or many other mixers. So that's why we need a symmetric power supply. The problem that I'm seeing here is that maybe this power supply or this transformer is for 9 volts and 9 volts for a total of 18 volts. So even that it is a symmetrical power supply is not enough for this console. So let me take some measures here. I'm going to connect the power transformer to the outlet and check it with the multimeter. And as you can see, we have 10 volts here in this other wire, 10 volts with reference to the central one, and 20 in total. So as you can see, the transformer has 18 volts in total, 2 wires providing 9 volts each one in reference to the central tap. That is good, but this mixer requires 2 18 volts power rates, meaning that 36 volts in total, so it's not going to make it. Symmetrical power supplies are like 2 batteries connected in series. The part where the one connects to the other is called the zero or central tap, and the other 2 poles are the plus and minus contacts. If you connect a multimeter to the central tap and one of the terminals, it will give you a reading of a positive voltage, in this case plus 9 volts, and the other will give you minus 9 volts. That's why are called symmetrical. It has the same power for the positive part as the negative one. Normal power supplies has a voltage in the positive part and 0 reading in the negative one. Since we don't have a power transformer with 2 outputs of 18 volts, what we can do is to buy another transformer exactly like this one and put it in series with the other transformer, like in the battery example that we saw earlier in the video. So having a second transformer, we will wire them in series like the batteries, and then we will have a single 36 volt transformer with a central tap. This will be the schematic for it. As you can see, we have transformer number 1 connected in series with transformer number 2. We are not using the central tap of each of the transformers. We can eliminate that. And the junction between the 2 transformers will be our new central tap, and the extreme wires will be the 18 volts output. But before we invest any more time on here, I have this another transformer from a Yamaha mixer. It does supply two rails of 18 volts, so let's plug into the Behringer mixer and see how it works, or if it works. So it does power on. Okay, it works. You can see the LED heater, the green one, and also the phantom power is on. So it is working. Let me get a microphone and I'm going to plug it to see if the inputs also work. There you have it. We have sound. Good. Let's move on. So now that we know that it's working, I'm going to disassemble it in order to clean it. I'm going to remove everything here, the screws, nuts, buttons, and hope that gets the main board out. As you can see, it has like oil, or I don't know. I don't think that's from fingertips. And the back cover is very scratched. I'm not going to restore it like brand new. I'm just going to leave it very, very clean and working. So we have the board out. A bunch of power amps here, and this is the power supply, the power regulators. So I'm gonna put this aside and work on cleaning this. Okay, I have cleaned the rest of the chassis off screen, but I'm going to clean the board applying lubricant spray to clean the knobs, and I don't know if it is required since the mixer does not have sliders or faders. This kind of potentiometers doesn't get too dirty, so maybe it's not required to clean it up, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to clean it. Here we have all the parts completely cleaned. We can start assembling this unit. Looks clean to me. Again, so many scratches, but if I paint the whole chassis, I'm going to be painting over the labels, and I don't want that because I don't have a way to restore the labels. This is the power supply, and I'm going to clean also the back of the transistors or the power regulator. There are two power regulators, the 7915 and 7815, plus and minus 15 volts of regulators. I'm going to clean it. The way that a regulator works is that it dissipates the excess voltage. Like right now we are going to supply 18 volts, but it has to output 15, so the other 3 volts are going to be dissipated as heat. That's why those regulators get very hot. So I'm going to clean it very, very good and apply thermal paste again, a brand new thermal paste, in order to help and dissipate the heat. Well, looks clean to me. I also polished this part where is it? Oh, oh, okay. This part here is where the regulators and the transistor sits to dissipate the heat. So I polished that part in order to make better contact of the back of the transistor and dissipator and help it to dissipate the heat. And also I had cleaned all the knobs, so we can start assembling everything back again. I'm also retouching some solder joints because I felt like one of the connectors was a little loose. So in order to prevent false contact of the microphone or something, I put a little more solder in it. Okay, here we have it. Let's plug it in and test again to see if it's still working. Okay, it turns on. Phantom power is turning on. So we are good to go. Now let's go back to the power supply issue. We were saying that the power supply came with 18 volts transformer or two 9 volts outputs. So we need two of them. So we are going to connect the two AC inputs of the two transformers and join the one 9 volts output of each transformer. That will be our new central tap. And the other two individual 9 volts wires will be our 18 volts outputs. I hope it is clear. The original transformer cost about $29 in eBay, and one of these transformers cost $10, so we are saving $19. It's a good price. And also we are learning something, so I prefer it this way. Here we have the schematic again. We have two transformers, number one and number two, and we are going to join two of the 9 volts outputs of each transformer. That will be our new central tap, and the other two wires on the extreme sides will be the 18 volts outputs. So I have here temporary wire. I'm not going to solder anything just yet, because again I need to test that everything that I'm saying is true. In theory it should work, but I don't know if in reality it will. Okay, it's wired up and connected, so let's hook it up to one of the wires. Again, this should be reading in AC, and this is our central tap, and we have 20 volts. And I have nothing here. It should read also 20 volts, and we have 20 volts. I don't know why it's not giving me anything in the stream, but at least we have 20 volts. I think my multimeter needs some calibration. So I'm going to do another test. I'm going to plug it as it is to see if it powers the mixer before I solder everything and put the sleevings and all the stuff. Okay. Yeah, I know it is a mess, but again, this is just for testing. And here we go. We have a green light. Looks like it is working, so we are ready to encapsulate those transformers now. I will have to put some plastic here in order to get the transformer inside this case. I will love to print a 3D print case for this later, but it takes hours for my printer to print something. But I'm going to use the original case. I'm going to cut some holes for the cables to fit and put a little bit of glue and black tape and all the stuff in order to make it look pretty. So now that I have everything looking clean and pretty, I'm going to test it once again. And Habemos power. Looks like it is working, so here is the before and after. Looks nice even that I could not eliminate all the scratches, but what can we do? So let's hook it up to an amplifier, and let's go to the living room to use the home theater for that. Here we are at the amplifier. I will eventually replace this PV mixer with this small Behringer one. I will later show you how to make your own karaoke system using your mixer and your home theater system.
1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, testing, testing. Hello. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, master, 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 level 1, gain, Twitter, middle, bass, discotheque.
Okay, that was a successful repair or substitution of the power supply, whatever you want to call it. I hope you like it. I wanted to do a video about this aiming device. You can use it in rifles or handguns. The thing about this is that when you use laser aiming devices, you give out your position if you follow the laser. And this device allows you to aim without projecting the red dot to the target. It projects a small dot to the lenses and in the same device. Of course, this is for paintball, not for shooting people or animals. I don't like that. It turned out that the problem was only the battery that was in the need of being replaced. So I just replaced the battery. It is working, so no repair video for this. Well, I appreciate that you comment and see my videos. Thank you very much and see you next time.